So this is going to be a interesting topic. You know, we have to understand that great things take time, right? Great things take time. Because I feel like, nowadays in society, we want things quick, right? And, society is very impatient. They want things quick. People move so quick, they don't actually take time, like slow down. Like, man, slow down, bro. It's like, not just, not just like in person, like on the road, on the highway, like people drive so crazy. It's like, man, we have to learn patience. And I'm gonna tell you guys, and especially in a relationship, I feel like we want things quick in a relationship. We want things quick. And like, as soon as we see a chick, as soon as we date a chick, we want, like, after a week or so, we want to claim her as our girlfriend. And this is a problem I've had, in my past relationships or past females I dated. So I'm gonna tell you guys a story that happened a few years ago. I met this chick. I probably mentioned it a few times in my other videos, but I'm gonna tell you guys what really, like, the deep what really happened. Okay, so I remember going to this place called Sally Beauty to get me some something for my hair. And I remember, it was a chick I was dating. I was like, hey, hey, how you doing? She was like, I'm good. How you doing? We met. We kind of chopped it up. She gave me her number and everything like that. And what I'm saying? Then, she gave me her number. We chopped it up over the phone and stuff like that. She seemed like she was really interested in me. Then we just kind of stopped talking for a while. We stopped talking for a while. At the time, I forgot that I even had her number. I forgot that that she even exists for a minute in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking to other women as well, right? And I remember one time I hit her back up one day, and it seemed like at first she really didn't want to talk to me because it seemed like, like I ditched her. I wasn't texting her back or nothing like that. I started doing my own thing. It's like, oh, so now you want to hit me or now you want to talk to me. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry about that, like, etc. I told her, I was busy with other things and not really busy with other things. I was busy talking to other women, not really getting to know her. So, we chopped it up. I hit her up. We started chopping it up again. And, we asked to hang out, we hung out, and we were supposed to go bowling. But the bowling alley was already reserved for like a birthday party, and stuff like that. And no, that wasn't that the first date? No. Yeah, it was the first. I'm sorry. Okay, so the bowling alley, both of the bowling alleys we tried going to were both reserved for birthday parties. I'm like, dang, because we were talking about going bowling, talking about, oh, I was gonna beat you, she was gonna beat me and stuff like that, man. And we couldn't go to the bowling alley because they were reserved for a birthday party, man. So then we ended up just going to Culver's, man. So Culver's is like one of my favorite fast food restaurants, but Culver's is so expensive. Like, I used to go there with, me and my friends, like on Fridays, like go hang out with, when I had friends at the time, we would go to Culver's, man, go get like burgers and stuff like that on Fridays. So I took her to go get some Culver's, and we chopped it up and everything like that. And yeah, we chopped it up. It was good, right? Then the next day, I was like, hey, I was going to church. Faith Church is where I usually go to. I haven't been in a while. I'm thinking about going for Easter this Sunday. I'm thinking about it. But, anyway, I picked her up and went to church. Church was great. Man. I told her that she enjoyed it. I was like, hey, would you be willing to come every Sunday? She was like, every now and then. I'm like, I kind of get that because, church, and church isn't a bad thing. I know I mentioned before in one of my older videos, like why I don't go to church consistently. And I feel like church is every day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like some people that go to church, that's good. It's good if you go to church on Sundays, but I feel like some people that go to church don't really live how they, don't live the way they live on a regular basis during the week. It's like, okay, you go to church on Sundays, but what are your habits outside of church? You know what I'm saying? I feel like people have bad habits outside of church. They still be doing other things they shouldn't be doing outside of church. And then, they think that Sunday is supposed to be there, okay, I'm not gonna do none of that stuff because I have to go to church. No, you have to be consistent every day. You know what I'm saying? What are you like? You know what I'm saying? Church, it should be every day. You know what I'm saying? You should be doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everybody's perfect, right? No, nobody's perfect. But it's like, we you know what I'm saying? A lot of people's habits aren't the best outside of church. That's what I'm saying. I feel like, people have to develop better habits outside of church. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. But that's neither here nor there. That's a whole different story. But yeah, we went to church and all that. And after that, we went to West County Mall. We kind of looked around and, we didn't buy anything. We just, hung out. Went to the West County Mall and just hung out. And it was a good time. After that, took her home, right? Boom. I think 2 weeks later, I think a week later or 2 weeks later, leading up to that, we were texting back and forth. We was talking about, we was competitive with each other, about bowling. Like, hey, I was like, hey, we're playing with her. Like, hey, luckily that bowling alley wasn't open. I would have whooped your behind and all that. Just talking smack, in a playful way. And here comes the day, right? And I picked her up. We tried going bowling again. We couldn't get in because it was still reserved. It's like every time we tried reserving, it was reserved again. So like we couldn't go bowling again. It's like, man, like it really doesn't want us to. I don't know. Like I guess the universe didn't want us to bowl against each other. Like I don't know. I don't know why that was the case. So it didn't happen, and I took her to Applebee's. Man, I took her to Applebee's. We chopped it up, and I remember I wanted to. I had Instagram, on Instagram, and you know how some people wanted to post their food. And I feel like we live such a digital world, like people want to post everything that is going on in their lives on social media. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of that. And she was like, hey, dude, don't, I remember I was about to pull on my phone when my food came out, I was finna post on, I'm like, ooh, look at this food. She was like, do not post it on your, you can take a picture, but do not. I remember she yelled at me too. She didn't yell at me, she kind of raised her voice, like, hey, don't post it on your social media stories. I'm like, damn, like, okay. So I put the phone down, I kind of looked at her crazy for a minute because she said that. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe she's right because, a lot of people like to post everything that's going on in their lives. And it's like, and I'm guilty, I'm still kind of guilty of that. I still want to post everything that's, that's going on in my life on social media. I mean, there's nothing wrong with posting things every now and then, but I feel like we overdo it. And, what I'm saying? And again, I'm guilty of that, right? So after that, we left, and we was having a conversation. And I was looking at her, and I would, I forgot what we were talking about. And I wasn't really listening to her, what I'm saying? I was dozing off into something else. And tell me why I went to dove in for a kiss. And she was like, whoa, like what's going on? I'm like, oh shoot. You know what I'm saying? And after that, man, car ride home was pretty awkward. She wasn't saying much. I was still doing the talking and stuff like that, and she wasn't saying much, right? And I remember the next day, I told her, hey, I'm glad we hung out. It was a good time and all that stuff. And she just loved it. She didn't respond or nothing like that. And then, and I tried to invite her to come hang out for the Super Bowl. And it was around Super Bowl time. I was like, hey, you should come over to my family's house, come watch Super Bowl with us. And then she was like, okay, that sounds cool and all that. And then I think 2 days before she was supposed to come over there, she ended things with me. She was like, hey, I'm sorry, but I don't want to do this anymore because, I feel like you were trying to rush me into something that, I wanted. She was like, I wanted a friendship before to lead up to a relationship. And she was like, relationships take time. And we never established a relationship. You were trying to rush, and she was telling me I was trying to rush in and all that stuff. And I was like, damn, and she's like, relationships take time. I was like, damn, it hit me. That hit me. I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And ever since that, man, I'm like, wow, I was really trying to rush it. And it's something, I mean, do I regret it? No, but lesson learned, man, just lesson learned. You know what I'm saying? These things, as I get older, it's like, man, looking back on it, it's like, man, I wish I would have done this better, right? I wish I would have done that better, I don't regret it, but it's like, man, if I would have done this better, we probably would still be cool today. Who knows, right? But, me rushing it, me trying to, rush into, not taking my time with her, not really building a friendship, leading on to a relationship, is why we don't talk today. You know what I'm saying? And I was afraid to let go of her, and now, we don't talk. It is what it is. She don't follow me on everything, and I'm pretty sure she got my number blocked. I guess, I don't know, but it's like, damn, we don't talk anymore. So, it's just lesson learned, man. And I'm going to be talking about more stories that, I dealt with when I was dating women, things I've learned and all that. And just know that things take time, guys. Great things take time. That's why I named my YouTube channel The Journey, right? Because I want people to know that great things take time. Nothing is going to be rushed. You can't rush things. You can't rush the process, right? Everything, it's a journey. Everything, life is a journey, not a destination, right? And you have to be willing to accept it. If you can't accept that, then you're never going to achieve the things you want to achieve, because or you may achieve it, but it won't last long, right? It won't last long. It won't be fulfilling. But once you really take your time and really know that it takes time, it's going to be more fulfilling. It may last longer because you were willing to wait. You were willing to wait it out. You were willing to be patient. And I feel like in society nowadays, we're not patient, especially as men. We're not, I feel like, and especially with women in relationships, we're not patient with these women. You know what I'm saying? Especially good women. She was a good woman, man, and I messed that up. And it's like, as men, we have to learn to be patient. We have to learn how to take our time, man. And that's something I really struggle with, right? But just know that, man, it's a journey. Life is a journey. It's not a destination, right? So take your time, fellas. Take your time, bro. Everything will come. Will come naturally if you just willing to be patient, be willing to wait, and take your time. But that's all I got for this video, man. I hope this resonates with you. If this resonates with you, please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one.